Diet soda, juice, even coffee, they are served at every meal. And you may have heard about this new study. It was released just last week. It says that these drinks with a sugar substitute can increase your risk of dementia and stroke. Joining us this morning to talk more about this is Dr. Nils Mueller, an interventional neurologist at Delray Medical Center.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you. We've always thought that these artificial sweeteners were godsends. Wow, we don't have to have sugar anymore. And now this. What's the connection between dementia and stroke and artificial sweetener?
So this study that you're referring to is really the third in a series of very large studies, and they basically show that artificial sweeteners aren't associated with lower rates of diabetes and cardiovascular risk factors, but rather the opposite. They seem to induce potentially the diabetes. There's some animal studies that confirm that. So we're believing now that people get a false illusion of being able to drink large amounts of these soda pops while it actually makes them sick.
What does it do to the body?
So it probably induces the typical vascular risk factors with high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity. And that secondarily leads to dementia and risk of stroke.
So are we saying then someone at home says, okay, I'm going to empty out all those packets of artificial sweetener. I'm going to go for a Coca-Cola or, well, any type of sugary soda, not necessarily a brand name. I'm going to dump regular sugar into my coffee. Is that okay?
So sugar probably has its risks too. It induces diabetes as well. So the best thing is to drink something that doesn't have any of those, artificial or real sweeteners, and just drink an iced tea, drink a coffee. Coffee's actually been shown to be somewhat protective against the risk of dementia or stroke. So I think that's going to be helpful.
Drink it straight. No artificial sweeteners, no sugar. In other
words,
you're saying both of them have their downsides. It's best to stay away from everything with sugar or artificial.
But the artificial sweeteners seem to be even worse than regular sugar.
How about those stevia? I mean, those sweeteners that they say are natural derivatives?
So these studies have been compiled over a number of decades. So we don't really have those answers because they're relatively new arrival, but we believe they're all doing the same thing because they change the bacteria in your gut. They change how your composition of bacteria are, and that makes you eventually unhealthy.
What I'm hearing from you, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Mueller, is the sweeteners are in general not so good for us.
So the sweeteners, especially that can't be absorbed, that stay in your intestine and get broken down into other things by these bacteria, are probably bad for us.
Are there any alternatives?
It's hard to say. I mean, the best thing is really a low glycemic diet, a healthy diet where you eat, like somebody in Sicily on a mountain, eat, regular vegetables, regular salads, fish twice a week, drink a glass of wine, eat a lot of garlic, a lot of olive oil. They call that the Mediterranean diet. That's really the healthiest thing.
Stick to that Mediterranean diet.
Yes.
You didn't say any sweets in it either.
No. I mean, they're okay in moderation. Everything's okay.
Don't they eat biscotti over there or something?
In moderation.
That's right. It's all in moderation.
Yes.
Lots of insight on this. Sugar in general, stay away from real or natural or artificial.
Correct.
All right. That's our lesson for Monday. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.